right. Thank you.
BBC, please listen, because you have not been impartial reporters, but you have allowed bias and dishonesty to mislead and endanger the public. In short, you are promoting an agenda which continues to harm women and children. I will illustrate my assertion with one of very many cases. John was arrested after he used hospital Wi-Fi to buy images of child sexual abuse and torture while he recovered from a heart attack in his hospital bed. He was already known to police. He had amassed 81,000 images, nearly 700 of which were category A of rape and torture of children. The court documented him as a man, yet you, the BBC, reported him as a woman because he sometimes went by the name of Julie and wore a skirt. So he was an occasional cross-dresser, yet you misinformed the public that he was a woman. When we rightly object to this lie, we are countered with, well, how does it affect you? Let them live their lives in peace and show respect. So there are several reasons why truth about sex is important to us, and John demonstrates this. The year before they found his 81,000 images, he was admitted to a women's psychiatric ward. This was a locked 6-bedded ward with only a curtain separating the patients. A woman was already staying there. She was in psychosis with paranoid delusional beliefs that all men were infiltrating and trying to kill her, even her husband. So she needed a female-only ward in which to get well. But John's wishes were prioritized. Of course, she immediately knew he was a man. He was 6 foot, broad-shouldered, a very male-bodied man, she said, and he wandered around in a short dressing gown. So her paranoia actually partly became reality, that a man had infiltrated, and she was being gaslit by staff that he was a woman. She was moved to another unit 2 days later. There was a severe shortage of beds at that time, so it may be that another woman was bumped out and discharged early. She was severely mentally ill, but was recorded in the notes as reacting with transphobia. A nurse sat her down and implied that she was bigoted. When this woman recovered, she waived anonymity and spoke to the local press. And when she relapsed later in the year, she was scared to seek help because she'd been so betrayed. So do you see, BBC, how reporting matters? She immediately recognized his sex. His gender identity, or whatever it was irrelevant. Her needs were suddenly downgraded. She was blamed in the medical records, which, like BBC reporting, should be objective. Another important reason for truth in reporting about sex offending is that there may be more victims, and very often there are many, many more. And sure enough, another woman came forward. He had raped her repeatedly when she was a little girl, and he got convicted for that as well. The extraordinary thing is that as the NHS is as captured as you are, that he will be admitted to a women's ward in the future, because Annex B still stands. It is up to a man can choose wherever he is accommodated in the NHS still. This betrayal is happening in hospitals throughout the UK now, but it is not recorded anywhere because the NHS digital record holds these men as female, not trans. So can you see, BBC, why truth matters and how that tiny little accommodation of she, her has destroyed safeguarding? When you collude with John, who today pretends he is Julie, even in defiance of court reporting, you can be covering for a sex criminal, and you are easing his passage throughout women-only spaces where children also are. I have taken a day off from the hospital ward where I care for very vulnerable and disabled women. Our job is to safeguard them, not gaslight and lie to them, not open their ward to men, including sex-offending men. We do not consent to this grotesque lie. We have been raising the alarm for years, and we, like this female patient I mentioned, we receive insults that we are bigoted, transphobic, and in need of re-education and cancellation. No. In your acquiescence to these men, you're perpetuating and platforming their lie. You have made the world less safe for women and children. Please talk to us and listen. It's time. Thank you to Kellie-Jay Keen for making this opportunity to speak in public. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I just clapped myself. Thank you so much. I personally know the woman that you're referring to. And it wasn't until years after that she saw him in the newspaper and she called me and she said, it's him. So all along, all the women were afraid of him. They all knew, and they were all silenced.